traffic, to bask in your attention. Thank you. I work at the college, and my job today is to give thanks. And I want to give thanks, first of all, to this building. The name of this building in Mashutsi means House of Welcome. And we are so fortunate. Evergreen State College is one of the very few colleges that has a Native American dorm house. It's a special place. It's a sacred place. And we had this place for 3 days. It was the vision of the elders to have a place like this on campus, a house of welcome, that people can come and cultures can meet and get together and share cultures and celebrate cultures. And we come together, it's so auspicious, winter time. It's traditional to come winter time. Families get together to align themselves with the cosmos, with the time, with the space, to be in alignment with each other. And we have this great, wonderful family here. And I'm so grateful that you all came, and I'm so grateful Master Huang made Evergreen State College part of the international Tao family. This is so special. Thank you. Thank you. And, I'm so blessed.
Thank you so much. Well, it's so great to be here. I'm really excited to have a chance to come and be able to perform for you all today and share a little bit about what I do, which is Chinese comedy. Hopefully we can get the presentation up here on the screen. My background is actually in, originally I was a comedian doing improv comedy throughout high school and college, and I also started becoming interested in Chinese back when I was in college as well. And I got a chance to go and study abroad in Beijing, learn Chinese at these Chinese programs where I had to study and learn 100 characters a day, every day, just trying to figure out a way to learn this language. And it was a fantastic experience to be able to go to China, but I realized that while I was there, I wasn't able to do any of the comedy that I thought I was going to be able to do. I'd been used to doing comedy every day, or once or twice a week, either performing for friends or just being able to make people laugh. And when I went to a new culture, I realized that even though there were a lot of cultural differences in between the things that I thought I would need to make people laugh, actually, you can bridge that gap between the cultures with laughter. So I am glad to have gotten a chance in 2012 when I graduated from college to have a Fulbright fellowship to go to China and research Chinese comedy. And the way I researched was by apprenticing with a Chinese master comedian whose name is Ding Guangchen, and I'll be sharing a little bit about him in the future, and learning this special type of Chinese comedy called crosstalk, xiangzheng comedy. Right now, my main project in Beijing is that I've opened the U.S.-China Comedy Center. So if any of you are in Beijing, you can come by and see a show. I don't know if there are any Beijingers here in the audience tonight, maybe not. But the Comedy Center is a place that we do shows, both in English and in Chinese. And we have this glorious courtyard near the Drum Tower in Beijing. We have lots of people from all around the world come and experience the idea of laughing with other people and with other cultures. And we do free bilingual improv workshops so that everybody can get a chance to come and study. It's a really great place. We do all sorts of styles here. We do the xiangzheng, the crosstalk comedy. We do it on the big stage. Yeah, we do it in my friend's living room. I also do Chinese language stand-up comedy in Chinese on television and on different platforms, and also bilingual improv. But first, I want to explain a little bit about xiangzheng, just sort of give everybody an idea of what Chinese comedy is like. The xiangzheng can be translated as crosstalk. You have two people on stage, you go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. There's a lot of language puns. There's a lot of go-between between the two performers. You have this great timing that occurs between the two performers. It's a little bit like Abbott and Costello, who's on first. If you've ever seen that sort of routine, it's like that. If you go to see a show, you see them in these places that are called tea houses. It's a really nice place to go see a show. The performers come on stage, they do their routines together, and people really think it's funny, including this guy who was sitting behind me and had the loudest laugh of anybody I've ever heard. This guy, every joke, every single joke, there'd be like laugh, and then this guy'd be like, ah, like right behind me. And I was like, yo, whoa, like I was dodging like an air horn every single time he was a joke. And the half second between when I got the joke and when he got the joke was like the best half second in the world. That was when I was really having my fun. But I'm going to show you a little clip of what it's like to perform the crosstalk comedy. This is from a piece where I'm performing with my comedy master. He's the Chinese guy on stage. In this piece, I've just come on stage and say I've just returned from America, where I started performing Beijing opera. So here we go. Can we have more sound, please? Let me go and make sure that we have more sound here. So, sound is very important for comedy, as it turns out. Turns out if I were just to go on stage and I get that one laugh, that's all I get. I'm going to have one laugh, and then the rest of the show is going to be not so fun. Do we have sound? Oh, they like to think. Give me a hand. Everybody. All right, here's the comedy. So you can kind of get an idea for the way the comedy works. Back and forth, back and forth, and back and forth, make a lot of jokes. It's actually a ton of fun. There's two roles on stage. There's the straight man and the joker. The joker always stands on the audience's left. The straight man always stands on the audience's right. And you wind up saying a lot more when you're the joker, but actually comedically, it's harder to be the straight man because the joker gets to be all crazy, and then the comedy actually comes from the straight man being like, oh my god, I have to be on stage with this guy. Like, and then, playing out that silence and allowing the audience to laugh. So that's a lot of fun. Xiaoqiang is really interesting. It actually originally was a street performance art. In the late Qing dynasty, in the late 1800s, one of the Qing emperors died. And at the time, they forbid any Beijing opera from being performed for what turned out to be 2 years. But at the time, nobody knew how long it would be until they could perform again. So all the Beijing opera performers had to hit the streets, and they had to find a way to make people laugh in order to earn their living. And one of these performers started performing xiaoqiang, just telling jokes, and then he realized, hey, if I have a second person here, we're twice as loud, we make twice as much money, it's even better. And even then, you can see down to the modern day, if you go to see a show in Beijing, the performers will be what I'm wearing right now. They'll be wearing this sort of robe. This is called a dagua, or a big robe. It actually just means robe. And you wear the robe, and this has a callback not only because it would be what you would be wearing as a street performer in the late 1800s in Beijing, but also even little details. For instance, you can see that my cuffs are rolled up on the top, but not on the bottom. And this is so that if you were giving a street performance and you were talking and talking, somebody wanted to give you money, you can, oh, thank you very much, into the pocket right here and continue performing without having to slow down. So the cool thing about this is we know who started the crosstalk, we know who their student was, and then ever since then, master to student, master to student, master to student, the art of doing the comedy and the routines from the traditional time have been passed down. So the proper way to learn xiaoqiang is to apprentice to a master teacher. And this is my master teacher, Ding Guangchen. And Ding Laoshi is famous in China because he's the only master that takes foreign students. And his teaching is not just how to perform the comedy, but also just a sort of like a whole sort of education on how do you be a good performer. If you say you're going to a show, you need to be at the show. You need to be ready. Putting on a good show is secondary. First, show up. These sorts of things. In addition, once you get to the show, sometimes he has these little clever tricks for how to make everything work even better. Like one time we were doing a show, and I had folded his robe wrong when we got to the show. So he takes out his robe. He's like, no, push it up, not this, okay. And I'm like, oh, what do we do? He's like, give me a glass of water. So I got him a glass of water. He laid the robe on the table. He took a sip of with her husband. And I show up, and she's very nice, and she comes in, she had a whole bunch of bananas, and she says, here, have a banana. Thank you so much for coming. Have a banana. And I said, no, I'm not hungry. Thank you very much. She says, have a banana. Like, eat the banana. I'm like, no, thank you very much. She's like, eat the banana. It's not an option. So she kept offering me the banana, and I didn't want the bananas on. She said, thank you so much. And so eventually, she just looked at the banana, and she looked at me, and she was like, well, I guess Americans don't eat bananas. I'm like, no. But then I was like, whoa, this is like a magical moment. Like, I'm here at the birth of a stereotype. This is like, she's going to go to all her friends tomorrow and be like, no, none of them eat bananas. I offered them like 5 times, you didn't eat it. So again, you meet somebody from another culture, you see something from another culture. Maybe the reason they're doing something is because of vast cultural reasons, but maybe they're just not hungry. So that's the thing to think about. And these things are kind of scary for people sometimes, and I get that. And so like a lot of times when people like come to me and they're like, well, I don't know if I want to go to China, like really, like it seems kind of scary, like are Chinese people scary? And I'm like, no. Very important difference. Chinese people aren't scary. Chinese mannequins are scary. This is the thing. There is literally no end to the number of terrifying mannequins that I've seen in my time in China. And I could go on for like literally an hour of all these like ridiculously terrifying mannequins you see. These are children. They took their hands. I don't know what this guy's doing. These guys aren't even close. One time I was walking home from a gig at like midnight and I saw this sketchy van, and next to the sketchy van were 2 sketchy dismembered mannequins on the side of the road. And then I looked inside the van, which was full of dismembered mannequin parts, piled from the floor to the ceiling, and inexplicably, a microwave. I had no idea. So, tip 7 to 18. Is, just be the chief of the international life. This is a great time in history that we're living in. It's never been easier to understand people from other places, to go to other places, to learn skills, ways of thinking, and just ways of interacting with the world as a whole. And so comedy was kind of the way that I did it, but I hope that each of you are able to kind of find your own way of doing that. And it was a great privilege to be able to come here and talk to you all today and share what I've been learning in Beijing. So thank you very much. Big hand, everybody.